Hey friends, it's me, Micah. This is the Homestead Bandwagon. I'm about to go out and mow with our bad boy ZT Elite. We've had this thing for a year. I thought I'd talk real quick about the stuff I really like about it and one thing I really dislike about it, and we'll fix that thing. So let's just get right into it. One requirement we had on our mower is I needed kind of a smaller deck. Even though we have tons of area out here to mow, I've got some really tight spaces to get into, and we have a barn we park everything in that the entrance is a little small. So I was running a 50-inch deck. Bad Boy doesn't have a 50. They've got a 48, a 54, a 60, and on some mowers a 72. So ideally a place like this, you'd want to go with the Bad Boy Maverick, but the Elite, I was able to get a 48-inch deck. So when you get the 48-inch deck, there's some trade-offs. You get a smaller rear tires, they're a little thinner. And instead of what they call the Kohler 7000 Pro, you get a Kohler 7000 series engine. The only difference is the air box. Instead of having a tall air box with a round filter, this one's got an oblong filter. So I don't really know why they would say there's a difference there. The engine's been great. I like the Kohler engines. Everybody says Kawasaki's the way to go. I like the Kohler. This deck, what I liked about the Elite and the Maverick is they've got this really deep, thick deck with these super strong corners. You're not going to bust this deck as far as I can tell. The only weak point on these decks is these spindles. The bearings on them aren't greasable and they're only sealed on one side from what I can tell. So you're going to go through bearings if you're going through really rough areas. You're like, I'll mow blackberries with them. Eventually I'll lose those spindles. That's okay. I added this grab bar. This is super nice for when you get out of the seat, grab the grab bar. I love how this thing opens up because I'm always mowing over sticks and stuff. You can get in here and clean out the deck. It's really easy to get on here and tension your belt. You just tighten these little nuts up on this bolt and you can tension your belt up. But super easy to clean that deck out. I love that because if you have your deck full of schmutz, you're gonna break belts and stuff. I like this. Let's see if I can get my shadow out of the way. You got these little suspension pucks on the front. This front end will move for you while you're going over bumps. So this really eats up the bumps really well. Okay, you're going through bumps, the whole mower's moving like this. That front end kind of takes some of the blowout, which I like. But the seat is stiff as a board. It's not really comfortable, so we're gonna fix that. We'll get to that in a sec. Raising and lowering the deck with this foot pedal is easy. You can adjust this foot pedal depending on your height and stature. This is something I added. This is called an ACS or Advanced Chute System. The idea being here that when you're driving by the garden bed or something, you close that chute and now you don't have grass spraying everywhere. And speaking of grass spraying everywhere, this thing launches the grass, which I love. Okay, I don't bag out here. I don't mulch. You're not going to mulch in Washington as far as I'm concerned, unless you're a crazy person. The grass out here is really wet and thick and sticky. And so all you can really do is just blast that grass out and pray. And a lot of mowers will clog up. This chute does not clog up and it just throws the grass everywhere so I don't end up with real thick windrows of grass. So I like that as well. What else did we do here? I put on these adjustable bales, these steering bales. You can unscrew these and move them in and out. That's something that you get on the Maverick. But again, when I got this, they didn't make the Maverick with a 48-inch deck. So I'm kind of turning this Elite into a Maverick. And what else is good on this thing? This thing starts up every time, as long as you have good fuel in there. If you got bad fuel, you're stuck. But I don't think this is California emissions compliant. So the engine starts a little easier. It runs a little louder. It goes through the fuel pretty good, but there's tons of power here to cut through stuff. And I love that you can get in here and work on everything. So I just did a service on this machine. It was super easy. Everything's easily accessible, like your fuel filter. I like that they gave you a shut-off petcock for that fuel filter. That's really nice of them. Oil was pretty easy to change because I just unbolted this back panel and it made it really easy to get down to the oil filter. Air filter is easy to get to, so maintenance on this thing's super easy. I haven't taken off the deck yet to change blades, but we'll see how that goes. It shouldn't be bad. It looks like a couple bolts, and I really like that you can stand on this deck it doesn't move. So getting on and off this machine's easy. Grab this handhold, stand on the deck and get off. I'm probably going to put some grip tape on here. But let's get to this seat. This seat, not the most comfortable thing in the world. So I went out and bought a Trac seat off of Amazon. So we're going to install it on this thing and then go mow and see how that Trac seat improves the ride, because everything else about this thing's great, but the seat stinks. So let's install that Trac seat and go give it a test run here. And the cool thing about Trac Seat is they make these suspension seat kits for just about every mower imaginable, and you don't have to spend like $1,000 on a suspension seat, so you can save a couple bucks. You helping, Mara? Okay, so here it is, the Trac Seat. So basically this is a spring suspension that goes into your seat. Looks like it'll add a couple inches to the height, but that's not bad. Boy, this thing is really heavy duty. Holy smokes. Well, it comes with some nuts and bolts and some instructions. Let's get a mower seat and mount this thing. Well, the seat wasn't too heavy before, but now it is a little heavier. So getting this seat on here could be a little, that's not bad. Okay. Let's get a couple lock nuts on here. Let's put one down here. There we go. Whoa, baby. Don't make me a lot. Oh yeah, I forgot. This whole seat had a strap holding it up. You don't have a strap holding it up no more. Where's that strap at? There it is. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh man. That seat feels nice and squishy. Let's see if I can firm up the ride a bit. Not because I'm fat, okay? Not just because, you know, in case somebody else rides on this thing, I don't want them to bottom out. Let's see how this thing mows with this fancy new suspension seat. Here we go. Okay, so was it worth it to install this this seat kit under this seat? Yes, absolutely. It really takes a lot of the bumps and bruises out of driving around on this property. So super happy I spent the money on that. And I can't say enough about this bad boy mower. This Elite has been a great mower. It mows tall grass, it mows small grass. It doesn't care how wet the grass is. Like it was raining all week out here. I let it dry out for a day, then I mowed. The grass was 6-8 inches tall. It doesn't care. Blew through it at full speed, and it's nice to be able to move full speed and not feel like I just got beat up with this suspension seat on here. So yeah, pretty neat little kit. And you just pull out here and then turn it either way, either soft or firm. Spin it a bunch to put tension or release tension on that spring kit, and this thing doesn't bounce around too bad either. It just kind of softens the blows. I was afraid it would bounce around. So yep, there we go. Very happy with that Trac Seat kit. After a year, really happy with this ZT Elite. I really like this bad boy mower.